If you think your record collection is big, you haven't met this guy. Hey friends, welcome to Eyezz. I am Jarrett New, and today we're talking about the biggest record collection in the world and the guy who owns it. Now, for this particular chap, I would say that record collecting isn't so much a hobby, but rather an obsession or a compulsion that he just can't shake. So you're probably wondering, who is this guy? Well, he's a Brazilian businessman named José Zero Alves Freitas, and over the course of his life, he's managed to collect an impressive 7 million records, and still growing. So as of the making of this video in 2017, he currently holds the crown of having the largest privately owned record collection in the world. Absolutely insane. Now, his collection includes everything from the standard 12-inch albums to 45 singles, and even the 78 RPM shellac records. Now, in addition to those, apparently he also has over 100,000 CDs. So calling this guy a music junkie would kind of be an understatement. Now, when you go to YouTube and you type in biggest record collection, the first thing you see is a video by Guardian Music about Zero Freitas. And in the video, he basically talks about his massive record collection, how he got into collecting records in the first place, and he also picks out an old Cat Stevens record and plays it on the turntable. Now, usually I would just play this clip and let it go, but because they're spinning copyrighted music, I kind of have to talk over this part. So if you want to know how some people feel about his record collecting habits, all you gotta do is scroll down and read some of the comments. This is strangely sad. This guy buys more music than he can ever hope to listen to. And when asked to put something on, all he can think of is a rather beat Cat Stevens album. He's depriving the rest of us from finding and listening to records. Sad. Talk about hoarding. Just because he collects records does not mean he loves music. He needs to clean that Cat Stevens record. Sounds dirty. Also, that stylus has way too much sibilance. And finally, the last comment, pack rat. So clearly, a lot of people don't really approve of the way in which he's collecting all that vinyl. And for the most part, I kind of understand where they're coming from. For example, when you have a collection that's that big, you're probably going to be spending all of your time cleaning, cataloging, and organizing the vinyl, and not a whole lot of time actually playing and enjoying the music, which is really what it's all about in the first place. But I digress. So speaking of organization, because he's got such a massive collection to deal with, he stores most of his vinyl on wooden pallets in a large warehouse in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And a lot of the vinyl is placed in large plastic tubs that are then stacked on top of each other. And because they're stacked so high, Mr. Freitas usually has to get up on a ladder in order to sort through the vinyl on top. Now let's just take a moment to appreciate what we're seeing here, because to me, it's absolutely mind-boggling how many records this dude owns. I mean, looking at all this kind of reminds me of that last scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark, where they have that massive top-secret government warehouse where they store all the secrets. It kind of looks like that. So anyways, fortunately for Mr. Freitas, he does have a little help. Apparently a handful of interns are working around the clock to help him better manage his collection. So basically they handle all of the cleaning, cataloging, and organizing. However, even with their help, they've only managed to organize about 250,000 records out of 7 million. So that's about 3.5%. So by my calculations, they'll be finished in never. Now, what do you guys think about Zero Freitas? Do you think his collection is awesome, or do you think it's a giant logistical nightmare? Let us all know down in the comments below, and if you love music, please subscribe and smack that little notification bell so you won't miss the new videos. And most importantly, friends, have an awesome day, and keep spinning that vinyl. Could you imagine crate digging at that warehouse?